Time to re-update the retrofitting of my above blade dust collection to the Incra fin system mounted to my Harvey table saw. Confused yet? More right after this. I'm Rick, and this shut the heck up, you stinking roosters. Build up for your sanity. This is the shack. Hello and welcome back to the shack. In this video, I'm going to show you my updated version of how I mounted my above blade dust collection to my Incra fin system that's mounted to my Harvey table saw. But the factory fin system, the above blade dust collection, is mounted to the rear rail. Now that I've installed an Incra fin system, that's really no longer an option. I'm not going to drill into this system to mount this. Plus the fact it won't fit if this tube is too far back to the end of the rail here. I have to have longer tubes to connect to it. I came up with a solution. My solution prior didn't work because I had to do a few things, which I'll show you a little bit later. Didn't like it, reconfigured a few things, made the brackets, mounted them, and it works fabulous. With that, let's just dive right in and I'll show you exactly what I did. Now this is my current setup, and there are a couple of issues with this. First being that when I unloosen my positioner base to slide it back, the knob, if it tilts down a little bit, when it slides back, it's right in line with this bolt. Slide my positioner forward. Let's see, so I gotta watch out, these knobs will hit. So that's one issue I'm gonna have to eliminate. Not a big deal, but I want this to be a smooth operation, so that kind of hinders that. Not to mention the fact that in order for this to slide back and miss the pipe, I have to unloosen the brackets underneath that hold the pipe on, take this, tilt it down, so this to slide past to go back to the rear stop here. So I want to have this a very smooth, fluid operation, so I'm going to have to bring this out further. I just used this 6-inch plate because that's what I had laying around. I was looking for something yesterday and I don't remember what it was now, and I came across this. This is 1 1/4 by 1/4 inch thick aluminum. So I'm going to do the same as I did with this plate. I'm going to flush it to the back of the rail and measure out how far I need. Now I've been sitting here and I'm just the type of person that is visual. I have to see my progress. So I've been sitting here and I've been trying to figure this out. I want the tube to be past this from the back of the rail to the knob is 4 inches. So I want the tube to be about 4.5 inches. I want to give myself about 1/2 inch between the tube and the knobs when it slides back. Some reason I've come up with 6-inch to 7 to 9-inch brackets coming out. So I'm getting lost. I'm getting kind of frustrated. I don't know what the problem is today. So I am going to take these off, take the bracket off. I'm going to set the tube up here, set it out, and get a better visual so I can make sure I get the right length, because I don't want to cut it too short, be screwed, have to recut them. I want to cut them once. That way I can proceed. All right, this helps me a little bit better. I get a better visual exactly what I'm going to be doing here. That's about where I want to go. So I have that 6, 7, yeah, see 7 inches would probably work. So 7 inches will work out perfect. So let me cut this down to 2 7-inch pieces, and then I can finish this up and I think have a better outcome. Now I have these mounted, so out of curiosity, I'm going to lay the pipe on top of this. I just want to make sure I have cleared that. It's going to mount about right here so that it's just on this side of this bolt. Let me get the pipe or the tube and set it up here, make sure it's going to clear this. Set it on here, kind of temporary. Look at that, perfect. It's just behind that, and these are loose, so I can slide that and it's going to miss the tube. Absolutely perfect. Now that this is far enough back, I can actually spread this back a little bit on here. Let me just see something here. Okay, that's about good right there. Actually, that's good where it says. So we actually should go about right there. And look at that. That's pretty solid. Right there is where I like it. So I'm going to tighten these down right there. That one's good. This one's squared up. Right there. Now these bolts, they are a 14 mil. Should be about right there. I want to go a little bit further. There we go. I like that there. That one. I'm just making sure that feels pretty centered underneath there. Now I can tighten the bolts on the side that hold the clamps on, and we should be good to go. There we go. That's real good. That's nice right there. That's good. That will work, man. Look at that. And that's behind that. I'll slide it. I hope this will clarify any questions. This is the bracket. The bracket is 7 inches long. The original ones were 5 inches, but it was not allowing the positioner to slide freely. So I brought it out to 7 inches and it works fantastic. The rail here is inch wide and this is a 1/2 inch. So you go from this edge over 1.25 inches, you should be dead center. So what I did was I took this 7-inch piece of stock, measured from this edge over 1.25 inches, drilled a 5/8 inch hole in it. On this edge, I basically took the metal bracket here off that holds the strap for the dust collection tube here. Took that off, set it on this, flushed it to the end, and the bolt that's up here just marked that hole because that hole is right back here. The hole goes all the way through this little piece of metal here. I just put a marker down there, marked a little dot, and I drilled that hole. That's a 1/4 inch hole that allows this bolt up here goes through and screws into this metal bracket. Now, you could just take this bracket off and mark these 2 holes, drill right in this and tap it and use whatever, but I just chose to leave this on there. It is what it is. I mean, that's another thing you could do. I just chose it's easier to drill a hole through here without having to worry about drilling and tapping. It made it more simple for me. Now this right there, that's the T-nut that this screws onto that holds it to the T-track. Now for me to do this, the bracket back here, instead of removing this bracket, I simply took this bolt out. The T-nut that's in here, slid it forward, slid 2 more T-nuts in the T-track here, slid them past this. The third one, I realigned with this, put the bolt back in so I didn't have to remove this bracket at all. Slid the 2 T-nuts through, connected them to the bracket, and that's basically it. So we went from this first attempt further back, it was in the way, the bolt was in the way, to retrofitting it, updating the update to this. It's back far enough from the knob so I have free flow of my work. Unloosen the knobs for the positioner, slide it back. I don't have to loosen all this up, tilt this out of the way. It can stay right here. This slides back and it will not hit. And just to make sure it does not hit, let me loosen this up and slide it back. Okay, it's all unloose. This should slide back. Let me get my, there we go. Oh, look at that. Passes, no issues. Oops, I'm gonna slide this more. There we go. Right back to the end stops. I can lock it up. I don't have to move that out of the way. And when the fence comes back, that's the main thing. It shouldn't hit here. And that's as far, woo. I may slide this back just a hair, because that's as far as that fence will go, and that's very, that actually will work. Otherwise it'll hit the adjustment here, and as far as that's going to go, yeah, that's a lot, and that's real close. I still may just bring that back just a hair, just for my peace of mind. There we go. There. I like that better. Just a little adjustment. There we go. Make sure these are stayed straight. That's better. I like that better. Now we're good to go. Now I have a little bit more clearance. I like that right here better. So I'm going to slide that forward, and you can see it just misses. The knobs miss. They are perfect. Slide this all the way back up to the first stop, and we're good to go. Now the only thing I have to do is find a cap for this. I bought one, but it ended up being 2-inch. I think they put it in the wrong bin. I wasn't even paying attention. I didn't have a tape measure. This is right about 1.5 inches, so you need 1.5 inches PVC pipe cap. Hopefully it'll fit. When I take the above blade dust collection off, depending on the project I'm doing, sometimes it does get removed. I have to be able to cap that off. Otherwise, everything else is back up and running. So if you have any more questions, feel free to hit me up in the comment section below, or always feel free to email me directly. That is it. This is done. Another check off the to-do list. This is back up and complete and running. So I have another project I'm building right now. That will be the next video coming out. A family member asked me to build something for one of the grandkids. So that is might be the next video coming out. With that, thank you so much for watching. And remember, build it for your sanity. And it's always nice to get a couple of things checked off on the ever-growing long to-do list. Thanks again for watching. We will see you next video.